It's a phenomenal episode. I've got like 10 minutes left in it, but it's so.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna catch it tonight.
Oh, dude, so good.
2 years ago he was good, but last year he was garbage.
You like the half? How is it? It's half Chargers, half Rams this year, right? It's just LA football.
Yeah, so it's like an all-hour show. Was it an hour before, actually? Maybe it was.
Yeah,
it's always an hour.
It's always been an hour.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
It's always been an hour, but it's gonna be weird. I mean, because they don't even have like preseason games. Are they even practicing? Like, I mean, I haven't watched it yet. Is why I'm asking.
No. They're doing like walkthroughs, like non-contact walkthroughs and shit like that.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah, they're
talk
doing.
about, that's on me. If I had watched it, we'd be able to talk about that right now. But we're already recording right now. It's CrackBacks. How you doing, fellas? It's been a couple of weeks. We do have an episode in between of 4 and 20. My fault, didn't upload it. I'm gonna get that tonight. Completely forgot. I edited and everything. Completely forgot it. But we're back with a regular show. We'll be back in a few days here when Sage can join us as well. Got a few things to talk about. Some actual sports going on here. We'll start out in the NBA.
They got to do scrimmages and preseason games eventually. There's no preseason games at all.
Zero preseason games. They're not gonna have any preseason games.
They'll probably just do like they usually do it and have like joint practices and scrimmages.
Yeah, contact drills start on the 17th. That's when they put on pads.
I mean, that's all fine for everybody that's an established player. If you're a Sam Darnold or a Wentz or Matt Ryan, just grabbing the quarterbacks there, that's fine. I mean, you don't really need preseason. You're just out of there kind of get back into shape. But for a dude who's a bubble guy, no preseason screws him bad. It also screws over coaches. New coaches, especially going into an area for picking a team up for the first time, you don't know any of your players. You don't know anybody's tendencies, what they do well, what they suck at.
Honestly, everybody needs preseason. Everybody, every position, every player, every position group. Like you have shit that you got to work out and get back in shape. It's like if you played fucking 9-10 years already, it doesn't matter. You still got to work the kinks out. That's why the first couple preseason games look absolutely terrible.
Yeah, and then the third one, you got to be dress rehearsal, and somebody's going to get hurt first off because they're not going to be in shape. Somebody's going to get hurt because they don't know what they're doing. They got to shorten the season, dude. They need at least 1 or 2 tune-up games. You can't have full speed shit that actually counts right off the first snap, the first meaningful snap.
Everybody would get hurt in that first game.
Absolutely. Everybody's
if
snapping hammies.
If there's no real contact until the first game, everybody's going to get hurt. But like I said, in this season where there's no actual scheduled preseason games, they'll do the joint practices and they'll do scrimmages.
But so I don't even think they're allowed. They're not allowed yet.
It just won't be on TV. Well, they'll allow that. And anybody who decides to block that is an idiot.
No, they just need to make sure that they are. One person dies. That's the only thing. They just need nobody to die. One person dies, everything's shut down.
Yeah, and they just prepare teams that are close together. Obviously, the Chargers and the Rams are easy, but like teams that
there's mad background noise from one of you. There's a TV on or something in the back.
Yeah.
All right, it's back on the recording right now. We had a little technical difficulties there. We are back. Crab, as we were talking about Hard Knocks, I'm the most ignorant one in the group right now. I haven't watched any of it, but we're trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do in preseason without being able to hit anybody. At least hit anybody that you actually want to hit. You don't hit your teammate the same way that you hit somebody else when you're in an actual game. And that's why there's fights in the locker room. So it's an asshole move, dude.
That's why I was a starter.
That is true. There is a certain intimidation. And the offensive line, you have to be mean. Getz was the center. You played center and guard, right?
Guard freshman year, center after that.
Yeah, there's a certain level of mean you have to have in order to play in the interior line. Also, a little certain level of crazy, too, because you're getting into 60 car accidents in a 3-hour span once a week.
Oh, yeah.
But,
yes.
So anything that you saw on there that was enlightening, you thought was cool, somebody you didn't know was there that was still in the NFL, anything from the first episode?
I like Jalen Ramsey's trash talk. That's what I like.
Other than the 2 wives are hot. I know you said McVay. I knew McVay's wife was good looking, but I didn't know Anthony Lynn's wife was hot too.
Both of them beautiful ladies. I loved Ramsey's trash talk. The Bosa story is pretty cool. Him getting the contract. And they also show like all the protocols they're doing to keep the place clean and whatnot. They show.
Are they
all
going to
the
bring in
staff they have.
Kaepernick?
I mean,
That's the team that's rumored. They said Anthony Lynn said they were going to bring him in for a workout.
Is any of the stuff they're doing to prevent the coronavirus, does it look like it works? Is it logical? Is it legit? I saw the Broncos were running through this like it looked like a metal detector,
antibacterial mist.
It had like a disinfectant mist that was spraying down.
Well, they're trying all kinds of shit so far.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm semi-obsessed with it, so I've been reading up on it all over the place. The thing that seems to work the best, of course, is the bubble. NBA and NHL. I don't think hockey's had anybody dirty at all. They don't come up with a actual positive test. The dirty is completely different. NBA, they've been doing pretty good as long as Lou Williams doesn't go and get wings. Oh, by the way, Lou Williams, and this is just some snitching ass hoes. I'm gonna say it right, snitching ass hoes. One of the dancers from Magic City went on Twitter and was like, "Yo, Lou came in that night for the wings. He got more than the wings." Why you gotta out the man, dude? You know, it's a state. Keep that on the low. Isn't part of your job as a professional hoe, or at least a part-time hoe as a stripper, aren't you supposed to keep secrets?
I would think so, but apparently not.
So I don't know if she's gonna get
Maybe
outed
he
from
didn't
Magic
tip her
City
enough.
or not, but yeah, she's
Maybe
straight snitching.
Maybe she got money from TMZ.
She
Who
probably
knows?
got paid for that shit. You're right. That's 100% what it is.
Those bitches are all after money, and
They're just after straight cash.
anybody who ever thinks that it's not all about the money, you're an idiot.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, those dudes that go in there and fall in love with a particular dancer.
Yeah.
We know a few ourselves.
We know a few of those. But you know, you ever go and I'm not a huge strip club guy. I mean, I've been a few times in my life. I haven't been to George's Chicken House or whichever in New Jersey, but I would go there just for
Frank's
nostalgic
Chicken
reasons.
House. Jesus Christ, respect it.
I'm an old man. I would go there. But every time you go into a strip, there's always a dude with a chick parked up on his leg, and he's got a look on his face like he's found his future. You know.
Yeah, like this is the one.
This is the one. Like this is there's a connection we have here. But yeah, she snitched. She snitched on Lou. So Lou did get more than the wings. His 10 days of quarantine were warranted. I just think Lou wanted to chill for 10 more days because these games didn't mean shit to the Clippers. They were going to be in the playoffs anyway. So I would have done the same thing and be like, I'm not going to get fined. I just have to chill out in the bubble for 10 days and do absolutely nothing but play cornhole and ping pong. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and Lou Will's one of those guys that just wakes up and goes hoops. Like
Lou don't care, man.
He don't care. He just gets out of bed and gets buckets. That's just what he does.
Lou don't care. You know who does care?
He doesn't need to wind up or anything.
He got some good food, man.
And the picture of that, or that to-go plate with the catfish nuggets and the wings and the curly fries, and I think there was some sweet potato fries on there as well.
Some crispy fries.
Some crispy fries. Best quick poll. Best type of French fry.
I think at this point in my life, I'm going to go waffle fry.
You going waffle? Okay. Enrique?
I like the waffle fry, but I like the steak fry too. Like, I don't know. I can't choose right now. Maybe I'll go steak fry just to be different.
It's you're both close. Getz was right. It is waffle fry. Waffle fry is the best fry at all because you get both.
They're like
textures.
extra crispy.
You get the crispy and you get the soft center as well.
You can get the dip in between the little missing ridges.
Absolutely. Your second place would be a thinner, not quite shoestring, but a thinner, like a McDonald's cut fry. That's your second place there. You like the steak fries because that's what you use for what's the Peruvian dish you like? That's with the steak and the potatoes and the rice.
Lomo saltado.
That's why you like the steak fries because you have that in there. Anyway,
Yeah, and Wings Plus also has fire steak fries too. That's why.
I've always got the curly from there, but
I like the curly fries from Wings Plus.
I'll be open minded. I'll try the steak fries the next time we go. Anyways, back to the NBA. Somebody that cares too much. Your boy Giannis is out pulling Zidane impressions. He got 1 game suspension. First off, why is he headbutting people? Is he cracking because he knows that he's not ever going to win a ring in Milwaukee? Or what's it? Is it getting to him just being in the bubble, the Rona? Why is he headbutting people?
Maybe he's got a lot of guys in the league calling him soft and trying him, and he was just finally like, yo, fuck this. Get out of my face.
Who did he headbutt? I can't even remember. Do you know who headbutt?
It's Moritz Wagner.
I mean, Wagner, big dude.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna headbutt somebody, Wagner also is not a crazy guy, man. I want to see him headbutt one of the Morris twins.
Wagner is from Germany.
Yeah,
he's not just German lineage. He's from Germany.
Yeah.
And
Sprechen the Deutsch.
a place where racist still exists.
Oh, come on.
And do the Germans have beef with the Greeks?
They got beef with anybody that doesn't look like them. Do we have to revisit history?
Well, I was gonna say something, but I'll keep that for another topic. But
Those views don't reflect crackbacks.
I think it's frustration because I think that he's already seeing that teams have collapsed.
How bad was it though? Did he hit him in the face? I didn't see it.
He headbutt him.
Yeah, and it was like an exact he also Wagner sold it a little bit, but he still headbutted
him. He did. He did it. The look on his face was
very intentional.
Yeah, he had something he wanted to get out. Like it was the same look you would have on your face if you were to really get a good backhand on somebody. That's the look he had. So he wanted to hit him. Wagner played it off a little bit. It was a little bit of a glancing blow, but he's still headbutting people out there. You can't be headbutting people in the NBA unless they're gonna go to hockey rules and just let them fight, which would be awesome.
But now the precedent is set that it's a 1-game suspension. Is there another headbutt coming soon?
No, because the NBA has that.
That's
NBA
not really
has
a
repeat
headbutt,
offender. NBA has that repeat offender rule. So if you do something a second time, they can. I think it goes to 3 or 5 or something like that. So
fair point. I forgot about that. That's a fair point.
And it's conduct detrimental at that point because you just can't be walking around headbutting people.
I'm sure you think Grayson Allen would do it.
From someone who's played football and used to put my helmet on before the games and smash my head into lockers, that's not a headbutt. If you headbutt somebody and they don't go down, you didn't really headbutt them.
Yeah. There needs to be blood if you headbutt somebody.
Like if he grabbed the dude's jersey and then pulled him in and blasted him and the dude fell, that's a headbutt. But
that's
if
a
you
move
just
I mastered on 10.
But if you're just kind of running down the court and you give him a little a nudge, that's not a headbutt.
It was a bit of a bitch headbutt, which I think is why he only got the 1 game. If he catches Wagner clean, like with malintent, and there's blood trickling down the side of his mouth and all of that, first off, much better visual for us. But he's getting at least 3. He's getting 3 games, or they're going to suspend him until the playoffs start.
Did Wagner swing back at all?
No,
he flopped.
He flopped and then he grabbed his face and turned to the ref. With the Van Damme face when he had the powder in his eyes, like this, he looked up at the ref begging for some mercy there. His vision was blurred for a moment. A little weak, man. A little weak. The Fuhrer would not have been proud of that.
You know who's to blame for that in the NBA? LeBron James.
Yeah. Well,
because
in the 90s,
before LeBron James, there was no flopping in the NBA, and then this asshole is a super soccer fan. And comes to the league, and we all know he's soft. So anytime anyone anywhere near him and touched him, he's flopping all around, yelling at the ref, making the face. Oh, my leg, my knee, my shoulder, whatever. Yeah. Wherever he got breathed on. Yeah, wherever he got breathed on.
My hairline.
Yeah. You know what's something ridiculous?
Bitch.
LeBron went online to laugh at the Washington football team when they changed the name to the Washington football team. But he owns a soccer team that's just called the Liverpool Football Club. It's the same thing. Why are you cracking on people? I don't understand it. He just wants to always be in front of people for whatever. He has to feel the constant love.
He owns a piece of Liverpool?
Yeah, like 15%.
Wow, that's actually a lot.
Yeah. No, you realize he's worth I think it's close to $400 million now. LeBron James is worth that much.
That's a good investment to grab a piece of Liverpool. But don't ever compare the Washington Redskins to Liverpool.
Well, I don't know what the Redskins are. That team doesn't exist anymore.
Fair enough.
The Washington football team, which does have a lot of history and a lot of championships. Not recently, but
they'll always be the Redskins to me until they become the Foreskins.
Oh God.
I still call whatever stadium the Dolphins playing Joe Robbie. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be Redskins to me forever as well. But whatever. But, yeah. Does anyone truly care about it? At least outside of the DC area, does anyone truly care about the Redskins?
They've been talking about this for fucking years. Do they really need like a downtime to transition to a different name? They should have had the other name ready to go.
Well, no. Well, they never had any intention of doing this at all.
Yeah,
but this has been tossed around for years.
No, I understand. Yeah,
but the owner said no way.
Everybody else was talking about it. Daniel Snyder was like, "Fuck out of here with that. I don't give a shit." I'm never. He said with no uncertain terms, "I will never change the name of this team."
Yeah, even like a couple months ago, right?
But the only reason he decided to change the name of his team is he got a couple phone calls, and one of them was from FedEx and was like, "Yo, you don't change your name, we're out." The second one was from Coca-Cola or Pepsi, whichever one they sell in the fucking stadium. He called in, but if we're out. And then there was another large one. What was the other one? Amazon. Absolutely. Oh yeah, Amazon said, "Well, we're not going to sell your products on Amazon anymore if you don't pull your name." So
it was really FedEx. It was really FedEx. FedEx was like, take our name off the stadium immediately. Yeah. And Snyder was like, "Oh, okay, let's talk."
Yeah, exactly. How many millions of dollars he'd be out? He's already out a shit ton of money this year because of all the ticket sales are done. I mean, I don't know.
And because he's a horrible fucking owner.
He's one of the worst owners. He made his money off of amusement parks, so he's not making any money off of that either. None of those Six Flags are open. So,
but the crazy part is the NFL is it's still a valuable franchise, so he's still really paid.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. But the thing is, you would
he could sell them right now for $2 billion easy.
And that's exactly what the NFL wants. That he's gonna, because he really has been a shit owner. He's been one of the worst owners in the history of the NFL.
Albert Hainsworth, Deion Sanders,
Bruce Smith was 50.
I mean, how many? You could just keep going and going and going.
And he's probably
Alex Smith, Dwayne Haskins.
He's about to start Alex Smith on a third of a leg. Alex Smith was cleared to practice, and he will beat Haskins
in camp. 100%. He will 100% beat him in camp.
100%. And let me
didn't they draft another quarterback?
No, they signed Keenum. But they didn't draft anybody this year.
Keenum's not bad. Keenum's better than Haskins.
But is he better than Alex Smith on 1 1/3 legs?
Yes.
Did you watch that 30 for 30 on that? Or I think it was an E60.
Yeah, you ever try to run around with no ankle?
But he's not a route runner. He's a quarterback. He's a pocket quarterback.
So
you still got to take a drop, and you got to set, and then you got to drive and throw the ball.
Well, they showed video of him doing exactly that.
Yeah, he looked good doing it.
Yeah, if you look at his upper body, everything's still and controlled and all that. When you look at his legs, it's just gross. It doesn't look right. It looks like, and I know that it's not gonna flop. It's just the way that they had to rebuild his leg, and they actually had to wrap muscle around the bone. It looks like it's going to fold forward. It's gross looking.
And anybody who sacks him is going to grab that thing and twist it around like a fucking newspaper.
They said that it's that the bone grafts took have you ever broken a bone? Have you ever?
What?
Enrique, I know you have. I'm asking Enrique. Enrique, you ever broken a bone?
No, I've only fractured.
When that bone heals back, it's actually harder than the bone that it was before.
Oh yeah.
So they said the grafts took really good in his leg. The bone is strong as shit. It's all the muscles that they had to recreate after he got the flesh-eating bacteria that was really kind of screwing him.
And the tendons and shit.
They rebuilt everything. It looks like, I don't know if you've ever seen anyone with one of those mechanical tattoos where you can actually see inside of their body. He kind of looks like that, where everything's kind of pieced together and then skin's kind of laid over the top of it. It looks gross, but apparently he can run. They were showing him throwing on the show. This was months ago. And they cleared him for full practice and contact about 2 weeks ago. He will beat Dwayne Haskins.
I'll be shocked
for that job.
I'll be shocked if he plays. And if he does play, I'll be shocked if he makes it more than 2 or 3 games.
They need to give him at least one snap so he could be the only player in NFL history to start at quarterback with 1 3/4 legs. And what if he's dope? That's the other thing. They can't.
He's never been dope. He's never been good.
No,
but
even when he was 100% healthy, he's never been good.
Weren't they 14-2 1 year or 13-3 with Andy Reid 1 year?
Yeah, and also before when he got hurt, the Redskins were like 3-1 or 4-1. The Redskins were having a good season. And obviously, you can say they may have lost games later, but at the end of the day, they were still having a good season. And they actually had a talented squad that year.
And you wouldn't consider him dope at Utah with Urban Meyer? Oh, that's too far back. We can't.
I mean, back then, but Mariota was dope in college too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's bad
better
quarterback.
than Mariota.
Yeah, he's way better than
Alex
Mariota.
Smith is a much better NFL quarterback than Mariota.
Yeah, but you're talking about him being good at Utah. That's why I said, Mariota was good in college too.
I feel you on that. I feel you.
Timmy Chang was nasty in college. Colt Brennan was dope.
And we also, but I think Alex Smith is a great example, talking about your situation, because the situation he was drafted in was terrible. Like when he started with the Niners, that they had a new coach every 6 months. They had one of the worst GMs in the league. That was the circus when they had.
He also does have some physical, drawbacks to him. He doesn't.
No, of course, but he looks so much better with two other coaches.
Hands.
So with all that, he still looks so much better with two other coaches.
At the height of his ability, he got benched for Kaepernick.
And they did go to the Super Bowl, though.
With a Super Bowl level team and Alex Smith at the height of his ability, he got benched.
That being said,
that's like Jalen Hurts getting benched in the title game for Tua.
With all that being said, he's still going to beat Dwayne Haskins out for at least the number 2 job behind Case Keenum.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's going to beat out Haskins for sure.
If the leg holds together, he's going to show better as far as being able to read defenses and get the ball out of his hands. They just have to call the game a little bit different.
You know how I feel about Haskins, but in the NFL, draft picks mean something. So if the kid was drafted in the fucking top 20 of the NFL draft, they're going to give him every opportunity to shine.
Unless he wasn't drafted by Russell bad.
And he wasn't drafted by that regime. So
if he's Jamarcus Russell bad, it doesn't matter where he was drafted. He's not going to play anymore. They used to give Jamarcus Russell blank. This is back in the days they give people tapes. They give him blank practice tapes, blank film tape, and then ask him, what did you watch last night? And he'd be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was, blitz packages. I was checking. There was nothing on the fucking tape. They knew he was never going to fucking put the thing in there. He would just go home, sip on his lean, and that would be it.
Yeah.
So the same way you just said, Alex Smith looks good running around on the field. He looks good throwing. He looks good taking dropbacks. Jamarcus Russell looked like a fucking monster in his pro day. He was throwing 60-yard ropes from one hash to the other corner of the end zone.
His issue wasn't physical, though.
It doesn't matter what you look like running around on the field.
Oh, but that's completely different, though. We have game film on Alex Smith already.
How is it different?
Alex Smith is a proven commodity. Jamarcus Smith just played in college. Alex Smith has played multiple years in the NFL.
Jamarcus Russell's issue was want to. Jamarcus Russell didn't want to play in the NFL. That's what Jamarcus Russell's problem was. Not that he couldn't, he had physical gifts that Alex Smith wishes he had.
But somebody running around on a practice field means nothing.
But for him, he already proved that at least, neck up, he could play in the NFL. Then he snapped his leg. So if the leg can hold together, he should be able to play in the NFL again.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man.
And if not.
So let me ask both of you. What did Alex Smith prove? That he's a mediocre NFL quarterback?
Yeah, and that's better than what they got in Washington now.
He lost his job twice. He was in 2 different franchises doing well and got benched twice.
But the quarterbacks that replaced him were a little better than the years they played too. So it wasn't like he got benched for somebody that was really bad, like Kaepernick getting benched for Blaine Gabbert, So
Kaepernick's good now? I don't understand.
He had a good season.
Kaepernick was bad.
But he had a good season.
I never said Kaepernick was bad. So
and Kaepernick did have a good season. Did he?
And there are also a couple of teams. There are a couple of teams there that Alex Smith is an immediate upgrade, even on 1 3/4 legs at quarterback right now. If Foles can't play, and I'm just saying the Bears is one of them.
If he can play.
That's all I'm saying. If the leg holds together, because he knows how to read defense, he knows where to get the ball out to. His arm looked good. If the leg holds together, that's the only question. Yeah. And if the leg does snap, he can go to the XFL because the XFL is going to survive now because your boy The Rock went out and purchased it. Let me just tell you something. I was thinking about this the other night. Genius move. I'm still skeptical. I know the two of you believe that the NFL is going to go on no matter what. I am skeptical about them being able to travel from city to city and the season may actually go on all the way to fruition. The XFL is a smaller league. He can bubble it up. It would have been almost over a year where we've actually watched meaningful football. he'd have a chance to actually get some foundation under that and make that league actually survive, even though the last 2 times it had died. It would just be a good climate for it. Am I crazy, or what do you think?
When are they going to play the season?
The XFL season is going to be – it's always going to be planned for the off season of the NFL. So the March to their championship would probably be in June or July. It's one of those springboards. They want to kind of present it as a springboard for somebody that didn't make the NFL. All right, so, here, come and ball out here. Maybe you get another shot. Or there's been some talk that maybe they remove the age restriction that the NFL does. So now you get a kid, maybe not straight out of high school, probably too small and get hurt, but you have a guy who's played 2 years in the league in NCAA football, goes and plays in the XFL for a year, makes some money, and then goes to the league after. That's kind of a couple of the ways that they're kind of looking to position it to make it a viable league. You can't have a league just competing straight against the NFL. You'll get crushed. You got to figure out a way to cohabitate with them.
Are they going to let high school kids go right into the NFL? I mean, the XFL?
They've talked about that, having, if you think you can go straight from high school. The only problem is it's going to actually, to be honest with you, dude, if you're too small when you get there, you're not going to play. That's just basically how it is.
They're not going to play. Exactly.
That's basically just how it is. Everyone thought Freddie Adu was going to be great, and he never got taller than 4'9", and he never played. So if you're two, you get to wherever you're supposed to get to, and you never fill out, you never get bigger, you just won't play.
Yeah, I'm sure a coach will tell the kid, like, first day of camp, hey, man, you got to get stronger. You don't belong here. You'll see that right away. And every once in a while, there's a Kim Dichie who's already 6'5", 300 pounds. Yeah, this dude belongs here already.
Like LeVar Arrington could have walked right in and started in the XFL.
Yeah. Clowney probably should have went straight from high school because that's when he still liked playing football.
He's a bitch.
Well, that's his problem. He doesn't like playing football.
Tired of hearing about this guy. All these Eagles fans talking about sign this guy.
The funny thing, Derrick Henry's another one.
Fucking guy had 3 sacks.
If we rewind 5 years, the same guy that's saying fuck Clowney, granted, we have much more information now. Absolutely loved Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, I was watching him in high school, in a high school all-star game. So seeing the potential then and seeing the athletic ability of a kid that size is different. Once he got to South Carolina and they started having questions about his motor, and then I say it all the time, man, that senior year when he got a little bit nicked up and was like, yeah, I'm just going to sit out the rest of the season. My entire opinion changed.
He made all of that. Every cent he's made in the NFL, he made off of hitting Mike Hart in the backfield.
Yeah, it wasn't Mike Hart. I know the player you're talking about. It wasn't Mike Hart though.
It was the running back from Michigan. It was Mike Hart.
It was a different running back. It wasn't Mike Hart.
We'll look that up in post. I'll put the who was right on the screen. But Mike Hart blow up somebody. Mike
Hart was small and wore number 20. That's not the dude he hit.
All right,
but
we'll look it up.
But he fucking destroyed that dude.
And that's what he made his entire reputation on. It was the same as if a boxer got a great reputation off of one knockout punch. But that's all. Yeah, Clowney has no heart. He's on another one on the Jamarcus Russell list. Doesn't want to play. You got to have the two components. You got to have the physical gifts and the ability, and you got to have the want to.
Gets us right. It's Vincent Smith.
Vincent Smith?
Yeah.
On numbers and jerseys most of the time.
Instant vindication.
Enrique with his best Young Jamie impression. Yeah. On numbers and jerseys, I'll concede most of the time. Gets on that most of the time.
I also knew that Leon Lett didn't play for the Hurricanes.
See why you bring up
Ryan Tannehill went to Texas A&M and not.
Why you bring the
Texas
bullshit?
Tech.
No, Tannehill is because I don't respect Tannehill enough to remember where he went to school. The other ones are on me, but Tannehill, I don't respect where, again, like the same way I don't respect where, Gary Trent, the Shack of the Mac. I don't remember what school he went to because I don't respect him enough to remember what school he went to. That's an old school name. Gary Trent Jr. on the Portland Trailblazers now, former Dookie. Yes, but his father was once called the Shack of the Mac, and he was absolute garbage in the NBA. He was an undersized power forward.
It was like Kent State, wasn't it?
I have to look that up. Young Jamie, you want to check that out there? Enrique, pull us up with a Gary Trent Sr. went to school, and I think he dunked on somebody once, nasty, and got nicknamed the Shaq of the Mac, and rode that all the way into NBA draft status. Yo, if you're having a bad day,
Ohio University.
Ohio. Oh, the Rams.
Something like that, yeah.
If you're having a bad day, and I've done this a couple of times, it's something that you can't knock the gray cloud from above you. Just Google NBA draft suits and look at the pictures.
Oh, Samaki Walker.
Oh, the Bonzi Wells suit that the jacket was all the way down his ankle. Samaki Walker had all white.
Samaki Walker was the best one.
Samaki Walker was all white with a white hat, the same material as the jacket, no shirt underneath, and the chain. Samaki Walker was dope.
He looked like a candle.
Yeah, LeBron was all white as well. The whole thing, tuxedo, all white. Just Google NBA draft suits. So we got 2 minutes left here, fellas. Anything you want to get off your chest here? Anything you got to say? We got Sage coming up in a few days. We just do a quick one for tonight.
2 minutes? That was a quick show.
Yeah, it's probably, we're at almost at 40 minutes right now. There's not a lot going on, man. We're waiting for the NFL. We're expecting the NFL to be back already. We also have to start prepping some fantasy shows, because if the NFL is going to start up, we got to start doing some side fantasy shows.
Let's talk about this hockey.
I do have something to say real quick. I think the Lakers better watch out. I got the Blazers in 6.
First round. Oh, so this would make LeBron get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs, which will remove one of the parameters that Sage has for him being better than Michael Jordan.
But then he'll say, you can't count this one. They were in a bubble. He only had 10 games to get ready.
The master
That's
spin
so
artist.
True.
Bro,
That's
I
so
know
true. They would say
I know
LeBron
his
defenders
bullshit
would say
already.
it.
Yeah, I know his bullshit already.
All right, I'm gonna make a promise to you. I am gonna watch some hockey before we record next, so I can speak on it intelligently. But I can't do it tonight, and I haven't watched it.
And Hard Knocks.
The Flyers are the best team in the league.
On that, we'll end it. Crackbacks. We'll see you next week.